Hello, welcome back. Today's account comes from Whatstandwell in the Peak District in Derbyshire, and it's from a lady by Nikki Davis who found me on YouTube. And here's what Nikki had to say. In around 2007, in late February, me, my husband and younger daughter went on holiday to Whatstandwell in the Peak District. We stayed in a small lodge there, surrounded by an old disused quarry. On our first day there, our daughter found 12 old pennies on one of several boulders which encircled the green inside the quarry. While we were unpacking, it felt very witchy. That's the only way to describe it. We are great hikers and had a lot of walks planned and got to know the river, the reservoir, the woods, etc. But our first night there was very unusual. We had just tucked up for the evening, us in one small bedroom and our daughter in the other one. Both bedrooms on the same side facing the highest cliff of the quarry, which had a small cave in it, set up quite high. Just outside the bedroom window was a reed-filled, swampy sort of area. We all could not drift off to sleep. It was all very eerie. It was like we were on red alert for some reason. This went on for a few hours, and then we heard 3 distinct tree knocks and movements through the trees towards the cabin. None of us believed in the wild people at this point, but we all felt immediately threatened and began to get very nervous, but we couldn't explain why. Where we were situated was really out of the way, and we couldn't understand why people would be coming towards the cabin. That's how it seemed to us, like troublemakers were on their way, although none of us would say that at the time, only when we spoke about it afterwards. Although these knocks were in the near distance, our daughter said that there was someone outside her window. She could hear him in the swampy reeds. We just passed it off because we couldn't hear it at all. But she kept saying she could hear someone moving about inside the reeds just below her window. So we got out of bed and went to look, but we couldn't see or hear anything. We got back into bed and she started saying she could hear it again. Now the rest of the night was something we never experienced before. It was like we were all in some kind of suspended, timeless state. The night just seemed to last forever. I think it's because our sixth sense knew to be ready against something, like we were on high alert or something. It is that which stands out the most to me. And by about 6 a.m, luckily, the stirrings and the feelings of oppression went away. And not long after that, it began to get light. And the rest of the holiday passed without any repeat of strangeness, and we put it into the back of our minds. Now, a few years later, when I finally clicked on about the wild people, it dawned on me that this was an experience with them, and we'd taken it the wrong way. I think that the pennies were what they were playing with the owners of the lodge. I remembered that when we got back, I had asked them if any strange occurrences had happened there, and they were quite cryptic, but said yes. You could say that. So now I am convinced that they knew and interacted with them using the pennies. We took pictures and in recent years have been analysing them. On one of them, they looked to be some kind of red eye glow in the shrubbery, but this would just be passed off without the contextual information of knowing what had happened at the time. It was a perfect spot for them, close to the river and woodland and the reservoir, where there was another sighting, I believe, by somebody else, and there's lots of caves in the area. I think now, with all the research I've done in the last few years, that there were 2 sets of wild people. The home ones, living in the caves at the back of us, and they were being signalled by the roaming ones who were coming back, that they knew we had arrived. I also think they were drawn to our daughter as she was playing on the green throughout the day. And that's all Nikki had to say. But that's a lovely account, and put in Nikki's shoes, it would be very easily to be scared, wouldn't it? But years later now, she knows about woodknock, she understands the ways of the wild people, and it was clearly just a communication of sometimes. And she also states that she thinks there was a sighting in the area. Well, there's that many sightings in the area. I've had to put them on the video into map screenshots because there are so many. I can't fit them all on one screenshot. Just not far a walk from the actual cabin itself, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 accounts of wood knocking, howls, growls, and fleeing two-legged creatures. If we just go south west by about 3 miles, there's so many I'd have trouble counting them that close on the map. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13 accounts of a tall, upright, hairy, walking, man-like figure. Now that's a lot of sightings in one area. And the Peak District seems, for some reason, to have a very big cluster of sightings. They seem to follow from Cumbria down through the Irwell Valley, skirting Manchester and the major towns, coming down through Cheshire and into the Peak District, and then on to either Sherwood Forest or Cannock Chase. Now we know there's a cluster at Cannock Chase, and we know there's a cluster at Sherwood Forest. So I think maybe Nikki was in a cabin that was on a travel route of some kind. And it's summer, so I would imagine they were out a lot more at summer. And it's very rural. There aren't many properties around. I've had a good look. I went on Google Earth and I had a real good look. And I had a chat with my dad because my dad knows everywhere in England. And he was telling me that, you could walk for the day and not see anybody in Whatstandwell. So to me, I think Nikki had a wonderful experience, and I'm really pleased that she allowed it to me to share it with you. The reason I'm stumbling, I'm actually looking at how many accounts are out here, and there's so many. It's unbelievable. I can't believe how many there are. I hadn't actually noticed that myself, so that's why I'm a little bit stuttery. I was kind of taken aback at how many there are. And you can actually see a very good pattern route forming. So obviously that's caught my interest now. So I'll be definitely having a look at that tomorrow and seeing if I can come up with any ideas, or it gives me an idea of where I can go with the research. But thanks for joining me. And I hope you enjoyed it as normal. And I will bring you another account in the next couple of days because they are coming in quite fast at the moment, which is wonderful. I'm incredibly busy at the moment, but it is really nice to be busy. And I would like to say hello while I'm on, just as a thank you for your support to Ibs and Sass and Debs and Frogman and GPE, Here Now, Just Me and Penny. Without you guys commenting and clicking like, I wouldn't know that anybody was listening. So it's wonderful, and I do feel like I've met some new friends over the last couple of weeks. And hopefully, together, we can all make some more. But goodbye for now, and good night, Deborah.